One, understanding the nature of emotions. Emotions are a natural part of being human. They rise and fall like waves, sometimes small and manageable, other times stronger than we expect. But one important truth to remember is this: you are not your emotions. Feelings such as anger, fear, or desire are signals. They carry information, but they do not define who you are as a person. Many people struggle with emotions because they treat them as their identity. For example, when anger appears, they say, "I am angry," rather than "I am experiencing anger." That small difference in perspective matters. When you see emotions as temporary experiences instead of permanent labels, you create distance between yourself and the feeling. This distance allows you to notice emotions without being controlled by them. Instead of reacting immediately, you can pause, reflect, and decide the most useful response. Emotions themselves are not the problem. How we relate to them is what determines the outcome. By learning to recognize emotions as visitors rather than masters, you begin to regain calmness and clarity. This mindset shift is the first step toward developing genuine self-control and a more balanced way of living. To creating space before reacting, one of the most valuable skills you can build is learning to pause before responding. Often, when emotions rise, the natural tendency is to react immediately. This can lead to words or actions that do not reflect what you truly want to express. The pause, however small, creates space for awareness and choice. In that brief moment, you move from automatic reaction to intentional response. Modern psychology shows that the part of the brain responsible for decision-making becomes more active. When you slow down and reflect, this means you are more likely to choose actions that align with your values, rather than ones driven by temporary emotions. For example, if someone speaks to you in a way that feels disrespectful, your first impulse might be to raise your voice or shut down completely. But if you pause, take a breath, and notice what you are feeling, you give yourself the chance to respond calmly and effectively. The pause does not remove the emotion, it gives you time to guide it. With practice, this space becomes easier to create, and your ability to stay steady improves. This is how real self-control is built, moment by moment, choice by choice. 3. Practicing detachment. Detachment is often misunderstood. Many people think it means shutting down emotions or avoiding feelings altogether. In reality, detachment is about creating a healthy distance between yourself and your emotions so that you can observe them clearly without being overwhelmed. It is not about becoming cold or uncaring. It is about developing freedom in how you respond. When emotions rise, such as frustration, jealousy, or fear, it helps to recognize and name them. Saying to yourself, "This is frustration," or "This is insecurity," creates a sense of separation. Instead of being absorbed in the feeling, you begin to see it as an experience passing through. This simple act of labeling emotions makes them easier to manage. Imagine standing on a hill while watching waves crash in the ocean below. The waves are powerful, but you are not in danger because you are observing them from a safe distance. Detachment works the same way. Do not deny that the waves exist, you simply avoid being swept away by them. Through this practice, you strengthen clarity and self-awareness. Over time, detachment helps you remain steady, even when life becomes unpredictable. It is a practical step toward greater balance and emotional resilience. For building discipline through daily habits, discipline is not something that appears only in difficult situations. It is shaped in the small decisions you make every day. The ability to stay calm under pressure often comes from the habits you practice when life feels ordinary. Each routine, no matter how small, becomes training for greater self-control. For example, it's keeping your promises to yourself, waking up at the time you planned, finishing a task you started, or setting aside distractions strengthens your ability to stay consistent. These habits may seem minor, but they build the foundation for steadiness when challenges arise. If you can manage your daily choices, you are more likely to manage your emotions in stressful moments. Discipline also connects the body and the mind. Taking care of your sleep, your nutrition, and your physical activity makes it easier to remain balanced emotionally. When your daily life has structure, your mind has more space for focus and clarity. The key is not perfection, but practice. Every time you follow through on a small commitment, you rehearse control. Over time, these repetitions prepare you for bigger tests, allowing you to respond with calmness and strength when life feels unpredictable. 5. Healing and continuous growth. Often, difficulties with self-control are not just about the present moment. They can also be linked to past experiences or unresolved emotions. When old frustrations, fears, or disappointments remain unacknowledged, they may influence how you respond today. Recognizing this is an important step toward greater balance. Healing begins with honesty. Ask yourself gentle but clear questions, such as, what am I holding on to? Or what feelings do I often avoid? By facing these inner challenges, you reduce the chance of being caught off guard by them in daily life. Addressing what is unspoken allows you to approach situations with more clarity and calmness. Growth is not about achieving perfection. It is about steady progress, learning from mistakes, making small improvements, and returning to balance when you feel off course. Each moment of reflection helps you understand yourself better. Each step of healing gives you more freedom to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. When you combine healing with consistent practice, self-control becomes a natural part of who you are. This path of continuous growth is not a destination, but an ongoing process. With patience and persistence, you build a stronger, calmer version of yourself every day.